Every year in the WAL, new stars emerge, and established greats remain at the top of their class. But there may be no one who can claim a longer period of sustained excellence than the legendary Ron Bath.
I got introduced to arm wrestling as a teenager. It was November of 1980. The rest is history. Still here, still arm wrestling.
Ron Bath, a true arm wrestling legend.
Arm wrestling for me is something I've always naturally been good at.
Oh, he's mad, he's mad.
So it's just something I was easy to fall in love with.
All right, so he's showing about 2 courses buried.
I've been doing construction just over 20 years.
What we're gonna do is hold off those stakes about 3.5 feet, give or take, 3 feet.
We build walls anything from a foot or 2 high to anything up towards 60 feet plus. Over the years of doing construction, I've incorporated a lot of it into arm wrestling. I think that's made me even stronger and better.
Devin Lorette! Yeah.
Being in my 50s, I found out keeping up with these young guys because of age and just seeing how long I can be very competitive. Maybe it's just not wanting to get old, but sometimes I think it's a thrill hearing somebody say, how can you do that when you're that old? Just trying to see how long I can be the best that I can be.
Ron Bath is among a cast of legends in the WAL heavyweight division. After navigating through a field that included Matt Mask and Marcio Barbosa, Ron Bath found himself one step away from claiming the right-hand hammer. In his way stood the 2015 runner-up, Devin Larratt, who had his sights set on dominating the heavyweight division in 2016.
Competing in the 225-pound right heavyweight final. Please make some noise for Devin No Limits Larratt.
My name is called, and the closer I get to that table, I know it's my day for victory.
Please welcome the legend, Ron Bath.
I'm trying to get my psyche up to a point of where I'm ready to fight till the bloody end.
To me, Ron Bath is the American king of arm wrestling. I'm here to beat him. The girl throws down a thick stack of money. When you put $10,000 on the table, believe me, there is a difference to how hard you will fight, how hard you will push.
At the table, I really worked the psyche to hate the guy across from me. Devin likes to shoot his mouth off, and I'm waiting for him to say something that can just really motivate and drive me a little crazy.
Relax. Just like this, Devin. Straight. Close your hand. Go.
I explode. Ron doesn't like that.
Come on.
I know it messes with his mind. I'll keep pushing those buttons.
You can't keep jacking that around. Let's go.
The unhappier he gets, the more angry he gets at my actions, the more my plan is going to work and his will fail.
Devin Larratt this year has been ultra impressive.
We both wanted to get out into the straps. The go went perfect.
It's a big drive from Bath, and you can see how hard that tested Devin Larratt.
I get the hit on Devin. It wasn't exactly what I wanted. I wanted the top, but I actually thought I had him down close enough to that pin pad to get the call.
The Canadian has stopped the match, and now we can see evidence again of him squeezing the match back to center.
I got the stop, and I know that he can't pin me, and I'm gonna regain all my angles back until I bleed him like a vampire, and I leave him with nothing.
Devin pulls me a little bit back to the center of the table. He starts doing a little bit more of his taunting, but I still had a lot of fight left. I think more than he thought I did.
You could see an adjustment there from Bath as he tried to regain his hand and does so again.
Ron's driving, he's pumping, he's trying to get that finish, but there's no quick way to end this, and he's rushing it. And every time he rushes, I'm gaining that little bit. his chances for pinning me the next match go down even more.
Bath will not quit.
Deep down inside, I was thinking about actually giving up the match and saving some energy for the next match. But I got just a little too much fight in me.
I saw he wouldn't surrender, so I put him out of his misery.
And the second round will be far easier for the Canadian arm wrestler.
I'm so proud of you, Devin.
Boom. Round one, Larrett. I'm one win away from victory.
Best 2 out of 3. Larrett trying to win once again in the heavyweight on the right side.
I'm gonna I know there's some so hard. I know there's some fair I'm gonna hit it so hard.
Devin Larrett applying that mental game.
Being taunted like that, there's nothing more I wanted than to kick his ass on the next one. When we got gripped up again, I knew I needed to get a good hit on Devin.
Close your head.
But I jumped a little bit.
You're supposed to say go. Is that one mine too? Right when you're wrestling.
And I think the ref just called slow, man.
What's a slow start for?
I was on fire. I was ready to go.
It's gonna be boom. I'm focused.
Larrett will look for the speed here. He's done a lot of damage to the American in that first pin.
I want to pin him top row right to the pad. I'm winning the biggest arm wrestling tournament that the world has to offer.
Go! Big drive at the start and takes it with a top roll. Devin Larrett has succeeded where twice he has failed and is the new champion of the World Arm Wrestling League on the right arm.
And I have accomplished my mission. Hammer held to the sky.
Last year, I didn't qualify for this. And then in 1 year, I worked my butt off. And I just beat a big name.
To win a WAL hammer, these Titans need to endure a grueling gauntlet of matches against the most elite arm wrestlers in the world. The difference between winning and losing in this sport can be measured in micrometers. For these competitors, that means finding unique methods of training on their never-ending quest for an edge over the competition.
Arm wrestlers are real creative.
I mean, you got to be innovative. You got to make things work for you.
Wrist curl, wrist curl.
One of the things I do is climb rope.
Arm wrestling is all short movements, so I stick to everything with short movements.
I've been doing just this.
Anything I do at work, I try to turn into a workout.
You can get a great workout just messing around with the kids. Half hour, just dip away.
I have a 5-gallon bucket. Yes, filled with rice. This is a 20-pound sledgehammer head. I just sawed off the arm on it. And train not to be strong.
I have one cardio technique, and I swing those hammers for an hour. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. I'm arm wrestling all day long.
Perhaps no one worked harder this year to get to a final than Tony Kotowski. After a disappointing performance in 2015, Kotowski returned to the WAL with a vengeance. After an impressive performance against Justin Bishop in the semifinals, Kotowski earned a shot at redemption against a familiar foe, Craig Sanders.
From England, he's known as the Birmingham Bullet, the fastest man in arm wrestling. Please give it up for Craig Sanders.
Trying hard for this. I've travelled all the way from England. I've battled hard, and now I'm going to face Tony Kotowski in the final.
Entering into pits, please welcome Tony Iron Man Kotowski.
Last time we arm wrestled a few years ago, he beat me, and he beat me convincingly. I want to stay loose, but inside my head I'm thinking about Craig Sanders. When I got to the table and I saw Tony Katowski, he looked huge, but I was still confident because I've beat him before.
Tony Katowski. He goes against the fastest man in arm wrestling, Craig Sanders.
I don't feel comfortable in the referee's grip. He smothered my hand in the setup.
You got away with one there, and you know it. 1-0.
Craig actually turned his wrist in, and I combated against it, but I got the foul because the ref seen my hand move before Craig's.
A little bit of to and fro at the table, and really good gamesmanship there from Tony Katowski, making sure the referee thinks that it was Craig that threw the foul. Ooh, anticipation from Craig, and he missed that start. That's critical. Katowski with the win.
I didn't roll him or nothing with my wrist. It was pure side pressure I beat him with there and trapped him in my hand.
Oh, look at that.
And I pinned him. I couldn't believe it. I was actually stronger than Craig. I didn't think I was actually truly stronger than him. I was more stunned than I think anybody in that crowd. I was astonished, to say the least.
And Craig Sanders, known for his speed, was caught napping for once there.
The ref said go, and I was underneath him straight away, so there's no coming back from that, really.
So here in the right final, best 2 out of 3, Katowski a victory away from raising the hammer and getting 10 grand.
After the first match, he'd smothered my hands, and so I thought I'd try and turn him into a hook in the next match.
Close your thumbs.
Foul. Don't do that, Craig. Don't do that. Let's arm wrestle. Let's arm wrestle.
You're not allowed to advance in it. You're not allowed to advance in it.
Let's go.
And when that ref said go, that second match, I knew immediately he was going to go inside for the hook. So I dumped my wrist down a little bit, put my wrist back on his palm, and I went in for a high hook.
Again, smart gamesmanship from Katowski, making sure the referee is all over Craig's wrist. Sanders trying to engage the arm, but he gets no change, and that's an undeniable, deserved victory for the Iron Man. Simply too strong on the day.
Tony Katowski, he's strong, he's a beast. When I won, my heart stopped. I couldn't believe it. I worked so hard all year long, 6 nights a week, training just for this one moment, and I was actually here, and I actually beat Craig Sanders, one of the best in the world. I couldn't even believe it.
And the man from Wisconsin delivers big time here, right-handed. As convincing a victory as we have seen here in the World Arm Wrestling League. Look at that when the match hits the hook. Craig Sanders, very, very powerful individual, but he really had very little to offer there.
I was able to control his wrist a little bit, plus control his arm a little bit. So then once I applied the side pressure on him, it was game over for him. I ended up getting this, the hammer, which means more to me than any amount of money that I could ever win.